In a bid to boost trade and economic growth, the Minister for the Economy has launched the National Single Window. So, Wale Edun launched this and talked about how it's going to benefit businesses. Some people might have heard about the National Single Window and might be wondering, what are we talking about? Are we talking about the exchange rate here? Are we talking about a new policy? In what areas? So how would this benefit businesses? So today, we'll be looking at what the National Single Window is about and the benefits, the potential benefits that it will have for businesses and the economy. Now, joining us virtually to talk about this is Dr. Femi Egbesola, who is the President, Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning, Doc.
All right, Dr. Egbesola, we are a family here, a crew. We're three, so it's not just me you're going to be dealing with today. But yes, I trust you. I know that you've got so much insight to provide on the National Single Window. Business people, those who do import, export, particularly have often complained about the bottlenecks in trade, having to deal with one agency of government after the other. It's been a great concern to them. So, in a bid to handle that, ensure that those who have to do trade, those who have to do import and export are not dealing with different government agencies, filling one form, having clearance done at one level and then another, and that results to some delay that comes with huge cost. So there's a National Single Window opened through which businesses can interface with government agencies to make the process of trade seamless. What's your take on this?
To start, I would like to formally congratulate Sook News and radio station for the new launch. I want to say again that I'm a big fan of the TV station. That being said, I think one of the best things that has happened to us this time in the country is the launch also of this National Single Window project that allows business owners, particularly the MSME ecosystem, to now be able to trade under a single platform. This is one of the things we have been waiting for over the years, and we are happy that it is happening in our time now to see an opportunity whereby all our documentation can be done through one single window. And I must say that this initiative is going to bring about a lot when it comes to ease of doing business. I want to also believe that it's the next ranking of ease of doing business, and Nigeria is going to move up a little bit much more than what we have now. For example, for you to do your documentation for export at this time, you have to go through so many documentation, so many offices, so many agencies, at times as much as 13 different offices. But now you can now do it in a single window and get all that you needed to be done. That will indeed facilitate trade, particularly now that Nigeria is looking at participating actively in Africa Free Trade Continental Zone area. I think this is going to be a big boost. You will discover that the DG of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council did say that our export has increased with about 20%. This is some of the initiatives that has us in a better light when it comes to export. And with this, it is going to jump from 20% to much more. You also discover now that with export, we'll be able to also control our FX. Export will bring in FX, and we're able to do more of export by liberalizing the system and the structure like this new single window portal will do for us. And it will also help many other MSMEs to now begin to look at how they can look at making more money from export. And that's where we need to be at this point in time. Nigerians need to begin to push our products and services to other parts of the world. And the only way we can do that is if government gives us a seamless opportunity to do so, which this Nigeria single window project is going to help us to achieve. I also want to believe, too, that with this initiative, we will be able to increase our GDP. Yes, because a lot of MSMEs really want to export, but these bottlenecks has been the big thing, the challenge that has been stopping us. With this, more of us will be able to export, more revenue will come to the government, more revenue will come to us as business owners because we'll be more competitive globally, meaning that we're going to make more profit ourselves too. And at the same time, we'll become more attractive to the international community. Many more countries will also like to do imports to Nigeria, and that will bring investments to the economy. So whichever way you look at the side of the coin, is a big win for us in Nigeria.
Yes, Doctor, nice seeing you this morning. Have you had any feedback from your members on how seamless the operation is?
Well, I think it's been very fine. It's been on a test run for some months now before the final launch, the national single window that reflect as the test run. And for some of us who have participated, it's worth the while. You know, when you have a new initiative like this, you don't expect 100% performance or 100% outcomes at the immediate. But for us, it is a good way to start, and we believe that along the line, we'll be able to correct the few anomalies that we have been able to do. And I must also say that this is the first time we'll be seeing different agencies, ministries, and parastatals coming together to put hands on deck to ensure that we have a single platform for facilitation of trade. So you should also understand that will bring about some hiccups here and there, but we believe that along the line, so the most important thing is that there is a policy on this, and we've been able to have that launch, and we'll begin to work on the wrong side to correct it, while we benefit from the low-hanging fruit.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Egbesola. One thing I want to know is that this is going to be facilitated through a digital means, a digital platform. Do you think the infrastructure is on ground already for that purpose? And also, if you have seen that digital interface through which Nigerian exporters and importers can walk through and liaise with other business people in Africa?
Yes, a lot has been done on the digital platform to ensure that it is easy, particularly for those who have been very small businesses, to also be able to benefit by being able to use that digital platform seamlessly. And it's a coalition of agencies, like I did tell you. Since last year, we've been made to come to different kind of symposiums, workshops, town hall meetings, training us on how to begin to use this digital platform. A lot of other payment platform is attached to the digital platform, not just about documentation and certification. It's also about payments. So we have a lot of payment platform also integrated into the platform, where you can pay, anybody can pay for your services or your goods anywhere you are sending your country to, and within a second get the payment here in the destination country or in the home country at the currency you use in that country. So that has been on. A lot of education is going on that. A lot of capacity building is going on that. As an association also, we are also training our members to be able to use this digital platform so that they can make the best of it. And I believe that sooner than later, every one of us, those who are into export, will get to know how to use this digital platform and benefit from it. Like GSM, when it came to the system, some believe that those in the villages, the grandma and grandpas, eventually it became a knowledge for all, and everybody is enjoying it. So over time, in the next few months, I want to believe that those who don't know how to use it now will be able to get to know it if they make themselves teachable. Beyond that, I also think that the federal government and every stakeholder should also pay more attention to building the capacities, particularly of MSMEs across board, on how to first get to know about this information, then migrate to it and use the platforms that are associated with it. One of it is a digital platform. It's good that we do that orientation, we do that capacity building, and we do that publicity so that everybody gets to know. And I'm happy that your TV station is also addressing this today. It's part of the publicity, and I also want to believe that the MSMEs listening will see need to take advantage of this opportunity and key to it and begin to make seamless trade transaction across Africa, across the globe.
Yes. Yeah. All the infrastructure. Let me also find out, what's the time frame for documentation to happen for an export or import to take place?
Before now, it depends on how prepared you are for you to get all the documentation in place for export. For the certificates, getting an export certificate, it takes about 48 hours before now to get the export certificate. Of course, you need some other documentation that can take as much as 2-3 months for you to get, depending on the kind of thing you want to export. But with this national single window project, you should be able to get all the certification within 7 days. That's a big win for us. And it also means that a lot of time wasted, a lot of revenue wasted in processing and pursuing some of this documentation will be used for some more tangible thing. And that's why you see that the minister did say that we should be able to save 25% of the revenue we used to lose due to bottlenecks at the port, due to bottlenecks getting the certification and all of that. And that's a lot of money when it comes to revenue for government and also for business owners. So by and large, I want to believe that with this new system, getting documentation within 7 days, we should be able to have more impact in the global market. We should be more competitive now. And Nigerian businesses will also be more healthier because instead of going to the bank for loans, we will now be able to save our revenue and use it for some other thing. We'll also be able to benefit better. Nigeria product now is cheaper in the global market because of our currency that has been devalued, so to speak. So it's cheaper. So if we can place more of our product in the global market, it needs to be more competitive. We will sell more. And the more we sell, the more our businesses at home will grow. And it also translates to job creation eventually. At the same time, it also translates to more revenue for government because we'll be paying taxes and other levies for government. Another beautiful thing about this national single window that we need to also look at and talk about is the cost. The cost of documentation, the cost of certification is coming down drastically because human interface is being removed. When things go digital, it removes human interface, and human interface naturally bring about corruption and all of that. So we are removing that, and that for us is a big deal too, because we're going to be saving a lot of money that we'll spend on kickbacks, on transportation, on logistics, on many other things that we cannot mention in the air here. All of this is going to go down the drain with this new project, and it is for us a lot of savings. And when the economy is shrinking, every kobo we can save means a lot, particularly to those in the MSME sector.
All right, so you've highlighted a lot of the benefits of this national single window, as well as some questions have been raised from what you said. So on the part of ease of doing business, instead of a 3-month period to get documentation, it's now 7 days. That's a lot of improvements to make things faster. I'd like to know what what cost implication this would have on the side of the businesses. Now, there are agencies put together that are now working to ensure that you don't have to go to different ports like NAFDAC, MPA, which is the Nigeria Ports Authority. You also have customs and all working, but this is managed by the Federal Inland Revenue Service and also the Nigeria Sovereign Investments Office. So all of this put together, does it come at a cost that maybe you have to pay for this digital facilitation? And then at the end of the day, when this time that used to be spent has been reduced, the money that would have gone for maybe some tip to some individuals because there was a lot of interface with people rather than with the system, do we begin to see, or would we begin to see that in reduction in the price of goods and services? Because this also benefits importers as much as it benefits exporters.
Of course, yes, we've just said it. There's going to be a lot of reduction in the cost of doing business and ease of doing business, and that for us is one of the takeaway from this project. And you see that this government has been working hard to improve ease of doing business, and one of it is making sure that we follow global practice. One of the global practice we have almost everywhere in the world is that there should be single window for payments. And that's the same thing that is also being replicated with the tax reform bill that is being proposed now, whereby instead of paying over 60-something different taxes, you come back and collapse it with just 6 taxes across board from federal to subnationals. That's the way to go, and that's what we should be preaching about. That is what the government should also be putting at the front corner. Again, also, you discover that the best way to go about anything in the world now is to digitalize it. So bringing technology to this, leveraging on technology, I think is the best way. That is one of the best things that is happening to us in this under this government. So the National Single Window Project will help us now to, as you have highlighted, save a lot of money. And when you save money in your business, the next thing you think of is bringing down the price of your product. You see that Dangote has just announced that they are crashing the price of product to less than 900 naira. It is because there's a reduction in their cost of production. We expect that we are going to also see the same in the MSME if the cost of doing business also comes down. So you will naturally begin to see prices of products and commodities coming down because we're making profit. But we should also draw the line. We're talking about export here. It means that this product will be cheaper in the global and the continental market because we're exporting it. We're not really talking about local production and the cost of sales in Nigeria. But eventually it will still rub off us, MSMEs, when we make more profit. Because when we make more profit, we will not need bank loan, like I did say. Bank loan is not cheap this time, it's very expensive. So the kind of fund and cost that goes with getting loan from the bank will be reduced, and that will also translate to growing our businesses in Nigeria and being able to scale those businesses, which will bring about more profits and more jobs, like I did mention the other time. So it's a win-win situation for us. And beyond this single window, when it comes to trade and trade facilitation, particularly in import and export, we want to see this happening across board in other sectors of the economy. It should not be only about import and export. It should not be only about tax reforms. It should cut across board. Nigerians want to do business. We have entrepreneurial spirit to engage in business activities. One of the best ways that government can encourage us is not just by giving us money, but by liberalizing way of doing business, easing the doing of business. And when we have technology coming in, when we have initiatives like this, it will encourage people to go to business. Death rate of businesses will reduce, profitability will increase, the economy will be better for ease, and joblessness will be something of the past. And finally, on this, it will also impact on our FX. You will discover that when this begin to operate and come on full blown, our naira will begin to appreciate because we'll be able to now drop back to the country FX, which is very, very important. And by the time we're able to do that, inflation will also naturally begin to reduce. We should not we will look for just one way of tackling inflation by just raising MPR. This is another way of beautifully and structurally tackling inflation. I want to foresee that in the next few months with this new initiative, inflation will begin to go down. We'll begin to see disinflation. And at the same time, we'll begin to see Naira becoming stronger, which is good for our economy. We also begin to see more investors coming into the economy because they now see that it is now easier and better to do business in Nigeria. So initiative like this, we want to encourage government to do it across board, like I mentioned. And eventually, Nigeria will be better, stronger. It's not just a wishful thinking. It shouldn't be a given thing. It should be something that we should be intentional about, something that we should be prepared for and plan for. And one of the ways to plan for it is this national single window.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, I want to ask you two questions in one. First of all, one of the reasons why the government is bringing the single window export is to completely evade and do away with inefficiencies that is costing the nation about $4 billion. And one of those inefficiencies comes in the bureaucracy, which came around from the face-to-face interaction among those who are doing businesses. Now, if the government said it has removed that, face-to-face interaction is still going to take place between exporters and some of the agencies that my colleague Blessing mentioned earlier on, like the customs and those who ferry these goods from the ship, from the cargo to other nations abroad, whether it's in Africa or Europe. And we're still going to interact. So all those agencies, are they going to be, be brought into this digital space so that when the documents are submitted on that digital space, we will not have any bottlenecks and brokers interfering again, where some form of bribery and corruption is still going to exchange hands? That's one question on the one hand. My second question talks about the standard of Nigerian goods outside here. One of the reasons why we were not doing good in the international market exporting Nigerian product was because it's been adjudged that our product doesn't really meet up to standard. So do you see the standard organization will be able to do the role or play its role that it's supposed to play? And do you think at the moment, if our goods have climb up the ladder to that stage where it can really be competitive in the global market?
Oh, yes. To start with your first question, I also mentioned the other time that at the moment, agencies are collapsing to be one. And that will indeed remove a lot of human interface. But we also must understand that it can only be reduced. Human interface can only be reduced. It cannot be eliminated completely. And even globally, corruption can only be reduced. You cannot in any way totally eradicate corruption. Pockets of corruption will still be here and there. But our goal now is to be able to reduce it to the barest minimum. And I think that is one of the things that the National Single Window Project is going to be able to accomplish when it comes to certification and documentation. At the same time, too, when it comes to interfacing with other parts of the world, particularly with your exporters and or importers, as the case may be, depending on where you are on the part of the trade. The projects has also have this in mind and have been able to create some digital platforms also of that. For example, we have an e-commerce platform created with this, whereby you don't really need to see people again to even buy from Nigeria. You have the product displayed on the federal government e-portal platform. You just look at the product you want to buy, you click on it, you mail the person or phone the person, and you're able to trade. Just like you see a product on Konga or Jumia these days, without necessarily knowing the person that is selling it. We also have a number of e-payment platforms that are now embedded in that digital platform, whereby you don't need to begin to ask for the account number of the person. You don't need, everything is on the e-portal platform. You see it there, you make the payments, and the person selling to you gets the funding almost at the same second. Like you do a transfer, a cash transfer or bank transfer in Nigeria, and within a split of seconds, the person you are giving the money to receives it. That's the way it is designed. And it also goes with a lot of security system that ensures that crime, scam, and all of that is eliminated to the barest minimum. So in a long way, it is going to reduce corruption, it is going to reduce bureaucracy bottleneck, and at the same time, it is going to reduce the number of time, the days, the stress that goes about certification. And I think it's a marathon. Continue to work on it and improve it as time goes by. Then coming to the issue of standardization, I mentioned that our export has increased by 20% as of 2024. That's what data tells us, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. And that implies that the standard of our product has improved. If it has not improved, we'll not be able to do more in the global market. I want to say that the Standard Organization of Nigeria is working hard to improve standards. If we look at the new policy pronouncement, it states that from March 1, that's March 1, 2025, that's next month, if any product is not having SON certification, you can't even sell it in the mall. So all the products you have in the mall, in the supermarket, and all of that you see now that is not being certified with SON logo, you will not see them again from March 1. That is to show the seriousness and the height of responsibility government, particularly through SON, is placing on the product of Nigerians, so that Nigeria product can be competitive globally. But you also must understand that Nigerians really have a lot to export. Not all of them really also need that number, SON number, but are still accepted globally. For example, some agricultural products or processed agricultural products or agricultural products that have been value added are also sold internationally without necessarily going through a lot of certification that needs NAFDAC and SON. But then they are being sought after globally because it's one of the best in the world. So give or take, we have every opportunity to now sell better and make more money globally. And then one thing that has to do with trade is that even if you have all the certification of this world in Nigeria, and you are selling maybe, for example, to Kenya, another African country, you just must be ready to meet up with their local standards. They all have their local agencies and ministries that set standards for whatever product will come into their country. I have to also get those certification aside from getting your certification here in the export point, which is Nigeria. So that also comes to play. And when you see our product in some of the shelves of these countries, it means that we have been able to meet up with those standards. I want to say that Nigeria products are meeting up with standards. Now, if you go to some of the supermarkets and see Nigerian products, you begin to wonder if they are being done here because of the kind of standardization that has come up to play. A lot of work is going on underground when it comes to standardization. And in the next few years, you'll begin to see our product in almost everywhere in the world because we are having one of the best products now. And I must tell you for free that one of the things that is helping us ride over many other products is that our products are made from locally sourced materials here, which makes it more natural, which is more natural instead of the synthetic chemicals that are being used across the world. And when the product is made from natural things, natural raw materials, it works better, it lasts longer, and it is more efficient. And eventually, customers and buyers begin to love it over time. And that's why there's a lot of demand. And many of our members are unable to meet their export demand as I speak with you because the capacity to meet up with it is not there. And one of the advantages we have, like I mentioned the other time too, is the issue of our currency that is somehow being devalued now. So everybody wants cheaper product, but also good products. In the international market, our products are very cheap now compared to others coming from the other part of the world. And at the same time, they are very, very good. I just came back. I just came back from a country now. I came back yesterday, and I was surprised when I went to the mall. I saw so many of our Nigerian products displayed on the mall, on their shelves, and that gives me a lot of joy. It means that for them to be able to cross over to those other countries, they have met at least minimum standard that any other product should meet. And for them to be displayed in their shelves, it also means that it has also made their own standard in their country there. And
okay, Doc. Yeah, I just wanted to find out. We've all had to have experiences renewing passport or having to do your driver's license, and you are told server is down. Is there an alternative to this portal in case server is not working? And secondly, you just talk about the first deadline for having Sun logo on all products. How seamless is this for your members?
For the portal, if there's an alternative route to explore in case server is down, all of that, I may not be in the best position to answer that because that has to do with a lot of the technical side of the job, which those in the inside at the back end will really be able to talk about. But we expect that for a portal to be placed for a national use, all of this must have been thought all through, and they must have been able to provide close to 100% efficient operation of the system. If the banks can run their portals, their hubs, and all of that almost seamless, even if they have issues within few hours, it is resolved. Then I believe the national portal should be able to do far better than that. So we are hopeful that it's going to be fine. And coming to the issue of other agencies of government that are still slowing down, getting driver's license, taking 6 months before you're able to get it, even if the portal is right and all of that. I believe it is going to be a thing of the past very soon. With this new initiative coming up, they just have no choice but to come up and brace up with the realities of today. Technology is taking over, and everybody must embrace technology and embrace it the right way. And for the new policy regarding this having SON logo on any product that is regulated by SON to be displayed in the mall. The information has been in the space for a long time now. It's just getting to the space, and there's no two way to getting it right. We just must be ready to comply. What we should be talking about is if there's need for us to give entrepreneurs or SMEs more time before the implementation takes goes full blown. But that the implementation must be done is a no waiting. We have no choice about it. We have no choice about it because that's the global practice. Everywhere in the world, standardization must be a part of whatever you do, and we also have to imbibe it in this country. The livelihood, the well-being, the health of our citizens must come uppermost, and that can only come when we have standards attached to it. Many of our hospitals and our health centers are filled today by ailments and diseases that are preventable, coming from products that are telling you they are doing this, but eventually they are doing the other thing round, and it's impacting very negatively on our health and our health system. So it has to be corrected, even from the background. And that's one way to do it, is to make sure that our product meets the right standard and are exportable, even if the person is not exporting that. It should be able to export at a later time. So to us, that's the way to go. That's the international practice. And the only thing we can be talking about is the timing, whether the timing is right or not. And you look at this government, you say that they have wonderful policies all the way, but the issue has always been the timing and implementation.
Right. So you've talked about how this documentation process would help, but documentation is one aspect to facilitating trade in Nigeria. We'll talk about imports and exports, particularly for imports. Whatever is going out is one thing, whatever is coming in is another thing. So when documentation is seamless, what about the customs procedures, clearance procedures? What have been done, or what is on track to ensure that that process as well becomes seamless? Because it's one thing for people to have their certificates and documentation easy, but when it then comes to customs procedures and clearance, that delay is still there, and that may just negate the success that have been achieved so far in the area of documentation. What do you think?
Yes, I think the government is working all around to also crystallize the issue of the bottlenecks we have in our ports. You look around now, you see that so many other ports are coming up in different states. Even states that do not have a seaport is now having dry ports, and that is to ease the challenges we have in the Lagos port, particularly. Even in Lagos now, we have another port in Lekki to support the one in Apapa. It is to show you that government is not folding their hands so that states can be reduced. There are also so many other policies that is coming up to ensure that doing your business, particularly import and export in the port, is seamless. One of it is that before now, the customs have to do physical inspection of whatever is going in or coming out, which at times takes days or weeks because they themselves do not have enough manpower to do that. But now technology is coming up to do inspection, and that is reducing weeks or months to hours. And I think that's another good step in the right direction. Government also is now making sure that some licenses are also being handled by some other organization. For example, when it comes to getting licensed now for ETLS, ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, you now need to go to some organized private sector to get it. And ASIMA is in charge rather than the custom that is fully in charge before. It's also a way to liberalize it. The Board of Customs now is also coming to a committee whereby the organized private sector is now having a seat there to also tell them right there and then what our challenges are and think together on how to solve it. These are some of the initiatives to reduce the bottleneck when it comes to not just certification and documentation, but even the process and the system. And I want to believe that in the very near future, with all these pockets of initiative here and there, importation and exportation will be reduced. The challenges will be reduced to the barest minimum. And that's one of the reasons that the government created PEBEC, that is a Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council. Their work is to see that things like these are resolved, and they are working round the clock to ensure that everything that has to do with business, not just import and export, not just about the custom, is being reduced and made sure that Nigeria rise when it comes to the ranking in doing of business. And one good thing about this thing is that they are not doing it alone at the federal level. They're cascading down to all the subnationals, visiting different states of the federation to ensure that they also domesticate this in their different states and make it work. And it is already working. Many states have adopted it. And now there's a ranking too for different states on ease of doing business. So every year now government ranks the state to see who has improved, who is not doing well, who is stagnant when it comes to ease of doing business. I want to believe that no state will want to be at the end of the ladder. Everybody is now struggling to ensure that they support ease of doing business in every form of it. And it's going to translate to more businesses for us. At the moment, we have about 40 million MSMEs in Nigeria. With the improvement in ease of doing business, that can double. So if you have 80 million MSMEs and each is able to employ 2 or 3 persons, means that 80 million SMEs will be employed about 240 million if they're employing 3 persons each. And that means every Nigerian will be employed or will have opportunity for employment. That is what it means. And that is where we should be heading to. So this initiative, I think to me, it's not just a short-term thing. It's a medium, long-term thing. Before we begin to see the real impact, it may take some months or years. But if it is sustained, it is going to really work for us and improve our businesses, improve the life of businesses, and also help businesses to grow at scale.
Thank you so much, Dr. Femi Egbesola, the President, Association of Small Business Owners of Nigeria, for being our guest on the show today.
Thank you very much, and thank you for always reporting good news. This is one of the good news that we know you for, and we want to commend you for it and encourage you to keep it up. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, and you're welcome being our guest. Well, we do hope to see the full benefits of the national single window impact on the economy for businesses that were not aware of this development. We just brought it to you, so take advantage of it and enjoy the benefits. Okay, before we leave here, let's just take 1 or 2 more comments from those who've dropped one at our social media platforms and also YouTube channels. So the vibes are in response to the conversation on the Russia having nuclear power plants in Africa says, are we ready to enter a trade deal with Russia? And Ebubugoma says, interesting topic. Okay, so yes. And Oluwatosin says, I hope the national single window achieve the aim of reducing inflation and ease trade process. We hope same. So that's the show today. Thank you so much for watching. We can do this again tomorrow. The show begins at 7 a.m. West African time. In case you joined very late and you were finding it hard to understand what's been happening. We've been talking about critical issues here with a view to proffering solutions for them. We'll light up the conversations and spark up change. That's what we'll do here on the Front Burners. Until tomorrow, I am Blessing Eichie, and from my gentlemen here, Dr. Idahosa Osamhanze and Krumale. Doc.
See you tomorrow. Another wonderful day, and we look at issues on their merits.
And from me, many thanks for watching as usual.
Let's stay with Sec News TV for more exciting and interesting programs.